Hey, Wyatt. Say hi. Can you smile? Okay. Playing with the tea bottle here. You want to look at the camera and say hi? You're almost 11 months old. Time flies. Yeah. Are you gonna jump? This little guy likes to jump a lot. Jumping bean. Yeah, you do. Daddy's sneaking up on you. We're not sneaking up. I don't know what you're doing. What's that called?
He's hiding.
Hiding behind the high chair.
Oh.
You're not even. Get over here.
Oh.
Get over here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I had a poop. It was awesome.
Shut up. No, he didn't.
I feel 3 pounds lighter.
Shut up.
Okay, your turn.
Oh, gee, thank you. What a great intro. Okay, so I don't really know how to. Did I just hit him in the face with that tea bottle?
And I think he did.
I've had it on my mind to make this video for a long time, several months. Yeah. Where to start? I don't really know where to start, honestly, with this. Do you?
No.
About Wyatt. Look in the camera, please. There you go. There I am.
There you go, buddy.
No, you can't have it. You can only look at it. Okay, so I don't even really know when it started. It seems like it started like right off the bat almost, doesn't it to you?
Yeah.
I'm making this sound like it's like something so life-threatening and horrible, but it's not. But it has been like so terrible for us.
It's not life-threatening, but it is horrible.
Yeah, it has been. It's been horrible. It seems like it started like almost since birth. Maybe, I don't know, a few months old. I don't know. Anyways, he has severe atopic dermatitis, which is like a fancy word for like really terrible eczema. And he probably doesn't look like it very much right now because he is on topical steroids. So for those of you that have walked this horrible road of eczema, you know the magic that topical steroid does for eczema prone skin. That being said, there's a lot of controversy in the medical community about long-term topical steroid use. There are some doctors who are okay with it, but in general, there is a great deal of phobia towards topical steroids, and mainly it's because of like thinning of the skin and different things like that. So anyways, just to back up a little bit, y'all know he was a home birth. He ended up going to Children's Hospital for basically like a checkup type thing, like make sure he's okay, because I had group B strep during the pregnancy. It seemed like we were in the NICU for 2 days, I think, total. But it felt like an eternity. And it seems like even there at the NICU that he started to like get really itchy and start kind of scratching himself.
Yeah.
But it was like a slow progression with the eczema, but when it got bad, it got really, really, really bad. This photo doesn't even do justice. Like, that's just the very beginning. That was like in the beginning of January. You can see like his face is just starting to get a little bit red, and he was just scratching himself continuously, like nonstop at night. And it would be so bad that like we would wake up in the middle of the night and our sheets would be covered in blood from him scratching himself. And it just continuously got worse. And we finally, when he was probably, I don't know, what do you think, 4 months old, 5 months old? What would you say?
No, around 4.
Something like that. We finally decided, well, actually, at his primary care doctor at the time, they gave us Eucrisa. and we put some on his face. Big mistake. He started screaming, crying like crazy. So of course it was probably burning him, so we rushed to try to wipe it off. And at that point we felt like the only choice we had was to go to the dermatologist, because nothing really that primary care had tried was working for him. And I mean, we bought eczema honey and it worked for a little while, but eventually it quit working and it didn't work anymore. And we tried, oh my God, what did we try? We tried coconut oil, we tried hemp seed oil, we tried like anything that you could buy over the counter that said eczema on it, we tried it.
Spent hundreds of dollars.
Oh yeah.
To find it.
Oh yeah, totally. Like we spent so much money. And here's a picture of him in April. Like on his forehead, you can kind of see like the red bumps from where he was starting to really kind of start getting his first little flares. But it wasn't long after that he started going downhill really, really fast. And I'm looking for those pictures right now. That's why I'm looking down. So anyway, we went to first dermatologist, and they were like, let's do the typical 2 week on, 1 week off steroid use. And the 2 weeks on the steroid was magical. He would be totally clear like this. He would still itch, but he was clear. And then it's like, oh, take a break from the steroid. And the week off was hell. Like, that's all I can call it. It was just absolutely horrible. And then you get back on the steroid, and then you get off of it. And the steroids sort of suppress the immune system so that he doesn't flare up. But at the time, I really thought that they were going to like fix the eczema or cure it. I didn't realize that we were just managing the symptoms at the time. And I would get so frustrated and say like, why is he not getting better? This isn't working. And it was just one of those things, like have 2 weeks of bliss, 1 week of hell. I finally got so frustrated with it that we decided to go to another dermatologist. That one was a little more open-minded to long-term steroid use, but she wasn't in favor of it. So she would lengthen the amount of time we could do it. Like go for a month on the steroid and then take 2 weeks off or something like that. Which really didn't change the situation that much, because it's the same thing. It just drawn out a little bit more. And before we even took him to see a dermatologist, we went to an allergist who basically laughed in our face and said, babies can't be born with allergies, and sent us out the door. That was basically the experience that we had.
Yeah.
So there was him at 6 months. His cheeks are definitely like starting to flare pretty badly. Wyatt, don't shake me around, okay? And this was like at one of the worst times. That was in June. His face was just covered. I mean, it was so terrible. There are just no words to explain how awful it was. And he would like scratch his head like open and draw blood from himself. It was just the worst. And even up until recently, I would have him in the bathtub at 4 a.m. just trying to hydrate his skin, because it was so dry and raw. And we were told so many different things, like keep him away from cigarette smoke, keep him away from perfumes, change your laundry soap, don't use essential oils, don't use lotions, don't use soap in the tub, like everything. And everything that we tried, deodorant, yeah, that's the whole,
all that stuff was no good.
Yeah, all of it. Like we tried so much, and I still try to be careful with that stuff, but nothing was changing the situation. So we finally, the last dermatologist was like, eczema is caused by allergies, so you need to go to an allergist. Well, get to an allergist, and that's where we're at right now with this. They originally did the like skin test for like the 10 most common allergies. He tested positive for corn, egg, soy, and strawberry. So we went on this elimination diet, me and him, and we're still on this elimination diet. And to be honest, I wouldn't say that it really did much, would you?
No.
I think he still itched. And for a long time it didn't help. Because we were on that. We were on that for a few weeks. So, we recently, a few days ago, went to our local children's hospital to get lab work done for him to see if the lab work would match up to the skin test or if it would contradict it. And I got those answers back today, and I kind of feel like we're right back to square one where we were in the beginning, which is like every time we get an answer, or every time we think we get an answer, it takes us to more questions and more confusion, I think. Because in the lab work, basically the only allergy that really registered on the test was like egg allergy, which I knew anyway. But there's a bunch of like low level allergies on there. And the way that the doctor put it to me today on the phone was that there's no black and white with the allergy thing. It's a very gray area. And because Wyatt has, what's it called? IgE? High? He has like an elevated IgE, which in layman's terms means that he has a higher allergen antibody in his system. And the allergist just told us today, like, that's just the way that God made him. That's just him. And he pretty much told me that, like, the food allergies may not have anything to do with this at all. And I think this has been such a hard road for us to walk, because eczema is so much more than just like dry skin or itchy skin or flare-ups. Like, this has taken such a toll on our family. It's taken such a strain and toll on our marriage. I mean, we've had family members like say things like, he's not even gonna know who we are. And yet it's like, we don't, up until this point, like, we're lucky to have a conversation or sit together on the furniture and like watch a movie or anything like that. I mean, it's hard to please everyone when like you aren't even able to meet your own needs in your household, I guess. And the last several weeks I've had him in the bathtub at night 2 or 3 times, just in water, just trying to give him some sort of topical relief. And the reason that he looks the way he does right now is because he's back on a steroid. And
every day steroid.
Yeah, daily, of course. And if he comes off the steroid for a day or two, it's like he's flared right back up. And this eczema is so frustrating because every time we go to a different specialist to try to get answers about this, we end up going, we take like 5 steps forward to take like 10 steps back, I feel like. Because they'll order these tests, like, well, let's test for this. And then when the test comes back, they say, well, don't trust the test. There's a lot of false positives. It's not accurate. Don't trust what it says. And when we took him down to get lab work, that was nothing less than traumatic. That was a terrible experience. And I just feel frustrated because I don't feel like we ever make any progress with this eczema with him. You know, you go see the specialist, you go see the doctors, and you try we've tried the elimination diet, we've tried, whoa, we've tried all kinds of prescriptions and avoiding this and avoiding that and so on and so forth, and it just doesn't seem to make a difference. And I did ask the allergist today, could this just be genetic and not even related? Hi, baby. And not even related to allergies. I love you. I love you. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. It could totally be genetic, and it might just be this is something that he just has, and it's not related to this at all. So this has just been such a dark, terrible road to walk, because our son has been suffering for so long, and it just feels like there's just no answers. And as parents, sometimes, like, we've sat and we've cried and we have felt like helpless, I think is the word, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It's
very helpless.
Yeah, because it's like you try everything that you can think of to try to help your kid, and it just, nothing ends up panning out and nothing ends up working, and it's just really, really hard sometimes. But anyway, this first year for him has just been so awful and so dark, and with his birthday coming up, it's like I'm starting to see a little bit of relief in him, but I know it's because of the steroid. And I'm just, I don't know. I just hope that he'll grow out of this at some point, because it's just been really stressful for everyone. And to see him suffer is just so, like, hard as a parent. And even before like Wyatt had this kind of eczema, like Jace had a little bit on his back. It was just like little rough patches, basically. Just a couple on his body that weren't even red. They were like the same color as his skin. And doctor was like, just put amino on it and it's all good. So before having Wyatt, I would have never dreamed in a million years that this is how bad it can get. Like, it truthfully gets completely out of control, and it absolutely controls, it absolutely controls our lives. And it's been really, really hard. So anyway, I'm supposed to talk to one of the allergy doctors next week to see if we should continue on this elimination diet or what the heck we're gonna do. I really don't know. The good news is our allergist right now is in favor of doing the long-term. Yeah. He's in favor of the long-term steroid use for now, topically. So that is a little bit of a relief to my heart to know that at least we can try to get some management and some relief topically and safely, of course. But anyway, I just wanted to give a little update on Mr. Wyatt and basically what our first year has been with him, because it has been very, 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 very difficult for all of us. And yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to tell people how strong you are, because this little fella right here, when he gets his flare-ups, it is just so miserable, and he still manages to smile and laugh, and he's so full of personality, and he's just a wonderful, wonderful baby, aren't you? Are you wonderful? Are you? You're not. You're wonderful when you don't pull my hair. That hurts.
He's Mr. Smiley. He smiles all the time.
Yeah, he really does.
Until he's itching like crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, we're almost 11 months and the kid still doesn't sleep. I mean, it's crazy. Like, go on his hair. He can't sleep because he itches so much. So anyone out there that has walked this road of eczema, you know what we're going through. And if you have suggestions, please tell us. We do wet wrap him, and that does give some relief. But I think this is just going to be a matter of time of growing out of this. Okay. And it has just been, you got my hair. It's just been so unbelievably difficult. I have cried so many tears. I know that Brian's cried a lot of tears, and we just want to see him better. So anyway, there he is. Y'all got to see him here in the video, and he's in a good mood for now. He's early to bed and early to rise, so I'm sure the mood will go down here kind of soon. But yeah. Anyway, can you speak to the camera? Can you say hi?
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I'll update you when we have an update on where to go from here. Say bye-bye. Can you say bye-bye-bye-bye-bye? Can you say it?
You can do it.
Bye.
Say bye-bye.
He looks so cute.
Hey.